Like the pound sterling, it's my view that our new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, has been drastically undervalued in the last few weeks. The narrative most of the media would have you believe is that this little lady is out of her depth, with her vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy out of kilter with reality. She's been cast as a leader half her party don't like, with rumours Sunak supporters who won't bury the hatchet wanting her out by Christmas. Even Keir Starmer, the cervix-free leader of the opposition, the most mediocre and uninspiring Labour leader for decades, is measuring up red curtains for number 10. Within the media, all of the hatred and vitriol put on Boris, some of which was self-inflicted but not all, is now being heaped upon Liz Truss. Get Boris out has been replaced with Get Liz out. The kind of people saying she must go tells me she must stay. Most commentators and some in her own party would have you believe her position is not recoverable as the Tories lag behind in the polls. But not so fast. Good news, folks. It seems that our Chancellor was onto something in his mini-budget after all. Take a look.
IMF said today that actually the plan, the mini-budget, has increased the forecast for growth. And it's very clear where we stand on this. We've got pro-growth, pro-enterprise, pro-business Conservatives on one side and the anti-growth coalition on the other side who want to tax more and want to commit us to low growth.
There you go. Just to reiterate, the International Monetary Fund has said Kwasi Kwarteng's tax-cutting mini-budget will help Britain to be the fastest-growing major economy this year. They say the UK expansion within the economy will be the very top of the G7. Now, they do flag inflation as a stubborn problem that won't go away anytime soon. But the plan to go for growth already looks to be bearing fruit. Following the kicking they gave the budget 2 weeks ago, the IMF have now conceded, and I quote, the fiscal package, in other words, the mini-budget, is expected to lift growth somewhat above the forecast in the near term. Plus, the cost of wholesale energy prices continues to tumble as countries look beyond Russia for oil and gas, which means government support for household energy bills will likely cost considerably less than the $60 billion originally earmarked. Meanwhile, nominal UK wage growth was stronger than expected in the 3 months to August, and unemployment is down in the same period too. It's now 3.5%, another historic low. But the good news extends beyond the economy. It's being reported behind the scenes that Liz Truss, the most experienced member of the cabinet before she became PM, has accelerated efforts to amicably resolve the Northern Ireland Protocol, which divides our country down the middle, and to tackle illegal migrant crossings in the Channel, which are a humanitarian, economic and national security disaster. Margaret Thatcher famously stated, if you want something said, ask a man. If you want it done, ask a woman. And it's my view that Liz Truss will rise above the party squabbles, as Thatcher did in the early 80s with the Tory Wets, who sought to thwart her important reforms. Liz Truss is no great performer, but judge her actions, not her words. Actions we saw when she stood up to Vladimir Putin when leading the Foreign Office, and actions we saw in the Trade Department when she negotiated all of those trade deals. She's going to roll her sleeves up, she's going to get down to work, and she will get things done. The mini-budget was a failure of political and economic communication, but not a failure of policy. Take my word for it, that budget is going to age better than Sophia Loren. As I said just 2 weeks ago, backed up by the architect of Trussonomics, Professor Patrick Minford, on this very show, those bold tax cuts will likely help Britain avoid a deep recession, as countries like America and Germany sink further into the red. As the economist Julian Jessop points out, projections for Germany from their very own Deutsche Bank right now are dire, with Britain avoiding recession and Germany going the other way, with a potential contraction of 3 or 4% in their economy, minus 3 or 4%. But we're the sick man of Europe, are we? Do me a favour. Bounce back Britain, here we come, thanks to a courageous budget, a bold policy platform and at last a Prime Minister with a pair of balls. If Liz Truss sorts the economy, sorts the migrant crossings, resolves the Northern Ireland Protocol and taps into the potential of Brexit, for example, signing that massive trade deal with India and with more to come, she will reverse that poll lead. Labour's current popularity is in fact a headache for Keir Starmer, as voters will now scrutinise all of his actions and all of his policies. And it's my view that with expensive state-run projects like a national energy company pumping taxpayers' billions into flaky renewables, I don't believe that Labour or Starmer will stand up to that scrutiny. The markets don't know it yet, her party don't know it yet, and the public don't know it yet. But if I were you, I'd buy a few shares in Liz Truss. If she keeps with her vision and stands her ground, she'll prove everyone wrong, and she'll go from zero to hero. They say a week is a long time in politics. Well, 5 minutes is a long time these days. So she's got time. And Liz Truss, she does love a hard hat, doesn't she? Take a look at this. Very fetching. Look at that. Getting things done. Well, she's got 2 years to don that hard hat and fix Britain. Liz the Builder, can she fix it? Liz the Builder, yes, she can.